really thought this was going to be just kind of a thrift store book haul, but then all the books turned out to be by Stephen King. So it's just kind of a Stephen King haul now. Hey, what's up you guys, it's Steph, and yes, today I went thrift shopping and I picked up some Stephen King books. All of them are Stephen King books, so I thought I would share with you guys because I've only really read The Shining when I was in middle school. I feel like that's an inappropriate age to read The Shining, but that's when I read it. Probably part of the reason why I'm so messed up now, but it's cool. Went thrift shopping and found 5 Stephen King books, albeit 2 were doubles, and I bought them both because different covers, so let's just talk about it. And the first 2 were, way to segment in, we have The Shining by Stephen King. This is the one Stephen King book I read. I didn't read either of these editions. My dad had a gray edition, it was like a grayish silver edition of The Shining, and I read that in middle school. I remember taking it to school, having a teacher be like, what are you reading? Showing the cover, we're like, wow, you're reading that. Okay, well, I knew you read above your age level, but wow. Yeah, that was an interesting time. I first found this one. It has a little excerpt from the sequel, Dr. Sleep. So I was like, ooh, exciting, take that. And then we found like a nicer edition on another shelf a little bit of ways. Because this thrift store didn't have anything organized. Really, I don't think most thrift stores do. But nothing was really organized. And a few shelves away, we found this one. I've never seen either of these editions before. So it was really cool to find both. This one, I think it has the sun, supposed to be the sun's face on it. And then this one, just like the red rum cover. I really like it. It's super cool. I like it a lot. The Murder Hotel, the Stanley Hotel up there in Colorado, right? Colorado Springs. And some spooky stuff, poltergeist and murder and axes. And here's Johnny. Some fun stuff. I remember the story, but not like too many details. There's one thing specifically I remember, and that's probably because of the first time I'd ever read about something in that general area, because I was like in middle school. So generally books at my age range didn't talk about naked parts, but that's the part I remember vividly just because of that. Like, wow, that's not something you read about every day. Fun anatomy lesson. Next up we have the Tommyknockers by Stephen King. This one I don't really know that much about. I don't know, I was with my family and they're like, get it, it's really good, it's Stephen King, you can't pass it up for 30 cents. This bookstore had a great book sale going on, so yeah, that's where most of these came from. Some kind of, oh, it's an old library edition. Hell yeah, I didn't even notice that when I first picked it up, but it has like the library stickers right there. Love it. Anywho, this one, I guess the town comes into this power that becomes deadly to all outsiders, and it just kind of transforms them in some way. And it seemed fairly interesting. I really love the cover, that like spooky green. Yes, give me those horror vibes. I am excited for it. How many pages does this one have? Stephen King writes thick books. It's almost 800 pages. 737 pages. So that is fun. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I think I might start it a little bit after the reading rush because I want to read more Stephen King. Like I said, I haven't really read Stephen King since middle school, and I think it's time to pick him up again. Next up, the last one from that thrift store is Stephen King, Dolores Claiborne. It's the only hardcover I found, and it's very, very horror-esque. So I think the main thing is this Dolores character, she murders her husband, or she is found guilty of murdering her husband, or something like that. I don't really know. I read The Dust Jacket, but it doesn't really... My brain isn't reading it right now, so those last 2 brain cells took a little vacation. Anywho, this one, I assume she murders her husband. I don't know. I don't really know a lot, and I just noticed that his face is on the back of this one. Looking back here for some quotes. Nope, it's just Stephen King's face. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about Stephen King other than, like, his more known ones, like, you're about Cujo, right? Is that like Stephen King? I know, like, The Shining, It, Dr. Sleep, a few of those, and just, like, ones like that have been popularized. I don't really know this one, but I want to read more, and everyone, like, there's a few people that, like, were really into Stephen King, and they're always talking about these different Stephen King books. I want to know more. Lastly, we have The Dead Zone by Stephen King. This one, once again, it's just his face on the back. There is no description in the back. So I don't know if he died and woke up in this kind of in-between space. I don't know if, like, he has just always been in this in-between space and something happens. I don't know. But, once again, is another Stephen King. I just found, like, a bunch of Stephen King books and picked them up today because, you know what? I want to read me some Stephen King. And it's happening, mostly in books about this size, with like the small ones, but it's happening. I'm getting some Stephen King books. I'm going to get into Stephen King, and I want to read at least a couple of these before the year is over, so there's that to look forward to. I know I haven't really said anything good about these books, or like described what they are, But honestly, I really don't know. I just know that they're Stephen King, and Stephen King is one of those authors that most of the time you pick up one of his books, it's gonna be good. It's really cool to think about how long he's been writing and how he's still putting out books, and now his son is putting out books as well. That's just super interesting to think about, and I'm very excited to check these books out and reread The Shining, whichever edition I decide to reread. I might reread this yellow one because I've been on a yellow kick recently. Yellow is just my color. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. I just wanted to show you guys some of those because I put up a poll on Twitter. Do you want to see this video or another video? Y'all voted for a thrift store book haul to turn into a Stephen King book haul. So, they're not even on screen. There you go. Next week is the reading rush. I am very excited and scared. I'm going to try to daily vlog. I'm going to try and post daily video challenges, but we don't know what's going to happen because it's a stressful time. We'll see what happens. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know down below if you're going to be participating in the reading rush. Let me know down below if you've read any of these Stephen King books. And if you recommend some that I should really look for when I go to the thrift stores next time, or if I look at some secondhand stores, whatever I do. So let me know like some of your favorite Stephen King books, and yeah, just tell me because I have a few in mind that I really want to find, but at the same time he has so many books I just don't know where to start. I hope you have a lovely day/night, and I'll see you later. Bye.